Right. Welcome, yoga friends, to our summer yoga flow. I am Megan, and tonight we're going to do my goal is to do a nice calming flow. I know we're getting to that point in the summer where, at least in my life, things are starting to change a little bit. We're starting to look forward towards the fall and school starting and all the things are happening. And so I thought that with it being just about the end of July, it would be a nice time to do a nice calming flow. So that's my goal for tonight we're gonna move, but we're gonna keep it very calm. And the goal, as always, is to feel really good at the end. So with that said, if what feels calming in my body doesn't feel calming in your body, remember, always modify, adjust, do what you need to do to make this feel good for you. Remember, you're in charge ultimately. I'm here to guide and give suggestions, but you're ultimately in charge. Okay, so with that said, there are no props, as always, that are necessary, but if you do like to work with blocks or a couple of books or even like soup cans or water bottles, just to bring the floor up to you, sometimes that's a nice option. And the other option that you may want, and again is completely optional, is a blanket to sit on, or something just to boost you up a little bit. I've got a yoga blanket here, but any blanket will work if you fold it up a little bit. Gives you something to raise you up a little bit. Sometimes that's a little more comfortable. And also for your knees, if you don't have a mat, no big deal, but if you want like a blanket to pad your knees, I suggest that as well, especially if you're on a hard floor. All right, so I think that's it. And tonight we are going to start seated, actually. So find a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. Feel your sit bones grounding down. Feel your spine pretty long and shoulders are relaxed. You may want to wiggle out your arms a little bit if that feels good. Let your shoulders drop down. Let your face be soft. Notice if it feels better to have your palms facing down, which is a bit more grounding, or if you want to turn your palms to face up, which is a bit more energizing. So, and if you can't decide, you can always do one down, one up too. So just notice what it is that you need today. And then find your comfortable posture. Once you're in that posture, if it feels okay to soften your eyes or close your eyes, do that, whichever one feels best, and give yourself a moment just to tune in. Notice how you're feeling, notice the flow of your breath. And again, our goal, big goal for tonight, is a nice calming flow. So just notice, try not to judge. Notice how you're feeling right now. Do you feel calm and grounded? Do you feel energized and uplifted? Do you feel scattered? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel sleepy? Anything else, anything in between. You don't even have to name it. Just see if you can feel it. Notice how you're feeling. And try not to change or fix or perfect or judge. Just notice. And then slowly start to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the flow of your inhale and your exhale. And again, without trying to perfect or change or adjust anything, just see if you can notice, does your breath feel deep and slow? Does it feel short and quick? Or again, you don't have to name it or give it a label. Just notice. Notice how your breath feels. And then slowly, when you feel ready, slowly exhale all of the air out. We're going to inhale, fill up all the way up. So fill all the way up. Once you feel full, pause for a moment, and then slow exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale, fill all the way up. Notice what it feels like to be completely full. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. A couple more times like that. Inhale, fill all the way up. And then exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale, fill all the way up. Hold it in. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return to your natural breath. Notice your inhale, notice your exhale. And then think about inhaling all the way down the length of your spine. So you're inhaling all the way down the length of your spine. And exhaling all the way up the length of your spine. It's a long, deep breath. Inhaling all the way down to the base of the spine. And exhaling all the way back up. Staying with that breath just a couple more times. Inhaling all the way down. And exhaling all the way back up. And so staying with a long, deep breath, if that feels okay, slowly blink your eyes open. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Open up. Maybe interlace your fingers, flip your palms, take your palms up towards the sky. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Maybe a little wiggle through the rib cage, going side to side. Inhale, come back to center, and then as you exhale, release the right hand down to the left arm up and over, coming into a side stretch. And only going as low as you can, that you can keep that left sit bone grounded down. So if you start to pop up, come back up a little bit, so that way you can stay nice and grounded and really get the opening in the side body. Give yourself another breath here. And then on your inhale, come all the way back up, reach your right arm up to meet your left. And exhale, left hand's gonna come down, right arm reaches up and over, same, other side. Grounding down through the right sit bone, opening up to the right side. Breathe, long, deep breaths. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then from here, let's bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. For a Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Sit up really super tall here. And then we're going to cat-cow in our bound angle pose. So you're going to inhale, elongate the spine, reach the heart up towards the sky, and then exhale, we're going to round and drop the head. So keep going, follow your breath. You're going to inhale, get really long, and exhale, round. And this may not be the biggest cat-cow of your life. You may feel like you're getting a little bit less movement here than you would on hands and knees, and that's very, very normal. So again, no forcing, no straining, just moving with your breath, inhaling all the way up and then exhaling all the way into that rounded, or round-ish back. Let's keep going a couple more times. Maybe one more, following your breath, again, no rush. Inhale, come all the way back up. Use your hands, bring your hands to the outsides of the legs, bring your knees together, and we're going to come onto hands and knees. So again, take your time. Hands come underneath your shoulders, knees come underneath your hips, and we're going to cat-cow here a couple times. So you're going to inhale, arch your spine, look up. Exhale, round your back and drop your head. And then again, just keep moving. Follow your breath. Take long, deep inhales and long, deep exhales. Moving through the whole length of the spine as you breathe here. and let the movement be initiated by your breath. So we're in no rush. We're not trying to crank out as many of these as we possibly can. Just moving with the breath. Again, maybe do 1 or 2 more depending on the length of your breath. And on your next inhale, let's come back to a neutral spine. And then take your hips back towards your heels, come back into child's pose. So remembering to adjust your child's pose so it feels good for you. If you've got anything going on with your knees, you may want to stay up a little bit more. Or if it feels good to go all the way back, go for it. Maybe knees come a little bit wider or they come a little bit closer together. Play around with it. Everybody's body is different. And so just play around with it. See how this pose can fit in your body. Give yourself another breath here. And then on your inhale, come all the way back up. Coming back on the hands and knees. On your next inhale, take your right arm up towards the sky. So you're going to reach your right arm way up towards the sky. And as you exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left, coming all the way down to or towards that right shoulder. The head can come to the floor if it gets there naturally, but again, don't force it. You can keep your left hand where it is, giving a little push, feel that left shoulder roll back. Or if it feels better to reach your left arm up towards the top of your mat or wrap it around behind you, that's always an option as well. Whatever feels good. Breathe here, long deep breaths. So keep coming back to that long deep breath, inhaling and exhaling. On your next inhale, unwind your top arm if you wound it. Bring your left hand back underneath your shoulder if you moved it. And then press into your left hand. Take that right arm, again, way up towards the sky. So you're opening back up. And exhale, right hand comes down. Same, other side. So inhale, left arm's going to reach up towards the sky again, opening up. And then exhale, threading the left arm underneath the right. Coming down into the twist again. Again, right hand can stay where it is. This might feel good. Giving a little push with that right hand, feel the right shoulder roll back. Or again, if it feels good to take the right arm up towards the top of the mat or wrap it around behind you, you can do that. Keep knocking my blocks over today. Breathe. Long deep breaths. Notice how it feels. So it's always a little bit harder to breathe in the twist. So really focusing on it. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And if you moved your right hand on your next exhale, bring it back down underneath your shoulder. As you inhale, press into your right hand, open your left arm up towards the sky, opening it back up, and exhale, left hand comes down. So going back on the hands and knees, flip around here. And then exhale again, come back into child's pose. Hands come back towards your heels, drop your head. Take a long, deep inhale and a long, deep exhale here. And then notice, is child's pose a place where you want to stay today? Because if it is, that's great, stay. Or if you want to move into downward facing dog, we come up onto our knees, our toes, and lift the legs for downward facing dog. So again, choose the one that feels best. Which one feels best in your body today? Every day is different. Breathe. Giving yourself 1 or 2 more long deep breaths here. And then on your next inhale, take your time, slowly shift forward into a plank or a kneeling plank. Taking a breath here. And then as you exhale, lowering all the way down, maybe lowering your knees for the first one. Or for all of them today, maybe. Sometimes that feels nice. So once you're all the way down onto your belly, you're going to press the tops of the feet into the floor and inhale, lift your heart up into a cobra, any size you want to be. Shoulders roll back away from your ears, heart reaches forward. And then exhale back into child's pose. Hips come back towards your heels. Drop your head. Feeling your whole body. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then again, choose to stay or choose to transition back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, take your time, slowly walk your feet all the way forward to meet your hands. Coming into your forward fold at the top of your mat. And then once you get there, just dangle. Knees can bend a little bit or a lot. You can grab opposite elbows if that feels good, or just let your hands hang. See if you can let your head be really, really heavy. Giving yourself a moment just to let everything go. Let your head go, let your shoulders go. Let the backs of your legs be soft. Again, no forcing or straining here. This should feel kind of nice. And then on your next inhale, letting go of whatever you got going on with your hands, little bend in your knees. Slowly roll all the way up to stand. Stacking your spine as you go. Once you reach the top, shoulders roll back, coming all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. And exhale, hands come to heart. Finding your center here. Take a long, deep inhale. And a long, deep exhale. On your inhale, reach your arms up overhead. So we're just going to move with the breath a little bit. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, come about halfway up. Trying to stay with that long, deep breath. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press into your feet, come all the way up. Arms reach up overhead, opening up. And exhale, hands come to heart. So 2 more times like that. We're just moving with the breath. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet, come all the way up. Reach your arms up overhead, open up. Exhale, hands come to heart. Let's do one more. Inhale, arms reach up. Just follow your breath. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. No rush. Inhale to lengthen, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands come to heart. Finding your center. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Okay, we're going to add on a little bit. We're going to do a variation on Serious C. So inhale, arms reach up overhead. We're just moving with the breath. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. So again, adjust, modify, inhale, come halfway up. So it feels good for you. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. On your inhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, we're going to look forward, bring the back knee down. And then as you exhale, plant your hands, let's step it back, either downward facing dog or child's pose. On your inhale, slowly rocking forward into a plank or a kneeling plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Remember, knees can lower if that feels good in your body today. Inhale, tops of the feet press down, roll your heart open into a cobra. And then exhale, press it right back into child's pose. Hips come back towards your heels. And then choose to stay here, or on your next exhale, maybe transfer yourself into downward facing dog. Transition into downward facing dog. There it is. Long deep breath. Breathe. See if you can take 3 more long deep breaths here. One more maybe, depending on the length of your breath. And then on your next inhale, slowly step your left foot forward. Exhale back and comes down. Lengthen the spine, look forward. And as you exhale, step your back foot forward to meet your front foot, come back into your fold. Inhale, heart reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet, come all the way up, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, hands come to heart. All right, so we're gonna do that same thing, side two. Again, follow your breath just as you need to today. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. No rush. Deep inhale, extend your spine. Deep exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step your right foot back. As you exhale, bring your back knee down to the floor. And as you inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. On your next exhale, we're going to press it back, downward facing dog or child's pose. Choose the one that feels best in your body today. On your inhale, rocking forward into a plank or a kneeling plank. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Tops of the feet plant. As you inhale, heart reaches forward into a cobra. And then exhale back into child's pose. Hips come back towards your heels, drop your head. Stay here for the inhale. And on your exhale, either choose to stay or transition into downward facing dog. 5 long, deep breaths here. Notice your face, notice your eyes. Notice your head. If you're in down dog, feel your hands and feet. Feel the length in your spine. Give yourself one more long deep breath. And then on your next inhale, take your time, slowly step your right foot forward between your hands. Remember, if they get stuck, just help it along the way. On your exhale, back knee comes down, and inhale, heart reaches forward. Exhale, back foot steps forward to meet your front foot. Come back into your fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet, come all the way up, put your arms up overhead. And exhale, hands come to heart. Again, finding your center. Take a long, deep inhale. And a long, deep exhale. All right, something different this time. Inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. On your exhale, dive forward, forward fold. So again, you're just moving with your breath. Make this feel nice. Inhale, lengthen your spine, come about halfway up. Exhale to fold, plant your hands, step your left foot back. Okay, and then we're gonna walk the hands around towards the left, coming into a wide-legged forward fold, facing the long side of your mat. So both sets of toes are facing the left side. Inhale, heart reaches forward, and then exhale, fold forward. If you want to grab the outsides of the legs, or if you want to hook the big toes here, that might feel nice. Whatever feels good here to you, do that. And breathe. Feel your breath. Feel your feet grounding down. And notice if your weight is starting to shift back, like mine was doing, your weight's going to move into your heels. See if you can shift your weight forward a little bit. Feeling your weight move a little bit more into the balls of the feet. And then to make sure that you don't do a somersault, we engage through the legs. So kneecaps lift, quads engage, so you feel nice and supported here. Give yourself another breath. And then on your next inhale, release whatever you got going on with your hands. Come about halfway up. Bring your hands onto your hips and come all the way up. Turn your right foot out. Left heel is going to turn away just a little bit. We're going to keep the right leg straight-ish. Arms come out into a T, and then reach way forward for a triangle pose. So right hand comes down to the shin, to the block, to the floor, wherever it falls. Left arm opens up towards the sky. And breathe here. Long, deep breaths. Try and make the right side of your waist just as long as the left. Feel your feet grounding down and make sure you're not locking that front knee out. Give yourself a couple more breaths here. Feel that long, deep breath. Not going so low into the pose that you start to stress yourself out. Just want to go to the point where you feel a nice stretch and it feels good, and you can breathe into it. One more long, deep breath. On your next inhale, little bend in the knee, slowly come all the way up. We're going to come into warrior two. Maybe adjusting your feet if you need to. Right arm reaches forward over the right leg. Left arm reaches back over the left leg. Breathe. Feel your feet grounding down. Feel your upper body just like you're standing upright. So we're not leaning way forward or way back in this pose. You're just kind of in the middle there. Breathing here. Lifting that front hip up just a little bit so you don't not spilling forward. Another breath. And then on your next exhale, we're going to move into side angle pose. So either elbow to thigh or hand to the floor for the block. Left arm can reach up, or you can take it up and over your ear. Forgot where I was for a minute. Take a long, deep breath here. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Couple more breaths. Feel your feet grounding down. Feel the length in your spine. Notice how it feels to be here, to be in this shape. Remember, the shapes aren't magical. There isn't some magic thing that happens in the shape that makes us more yogic. The good stuff happens on the inside. So when we start to listen to our bodies, notice what's going on. That's where the magic happens. Give yourself another breath. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down onto the floor. We're going to pivot onto the ball of the back foot and then bring the back knee down to the floor. Inhale, we're going to come up into a low lunge. This is where if you have a blanket and you want to pad your knee, go for it, okay? And then we're going to come into a low lunge. Hands can come to the front thigh or you can reach them up if that feels good. Give yourself a breath here, opening up. Make it feel nice. And then hands come to heart. We're going to twist towards the right leg. I'm going to turn towards you a little bit. You're going to take your left elbow either to the inside or all the way to the outside of that right thigh. Press your hands together, open up your heart. If you feel really sturdy here and you want to tuck your back toes under and pick your back knee up, you can. If it feels better to you to keep that back knee down on the floor, do that. Breathe. Notice your breath. Notice your face. And then on your next exhale, slowly release your hands down to the floor. We're going to step the right foot back, coming back into your plank, your kneeling plank. We're skipping it all together and going into your down dog or your child's pose. Okay? But if you're in your plank, we're going to move through the flow, so you're going to exhale, lower down. Inhale into a cobra. And exhale back. Go right back into child's pose just for a moment. Take a deep inhale in your child's pose. And then notice if you want to stay or if you want to transition into downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Giving yourself a moment to pause, space to pause. And then one more time, we're going to inhale, come forward into a plank. And from here, we're going to move into side plank. So either bring your knees down and kickstand your right foot over to the right. Left foot's going to come in line. So you've got a nice line between your right hand, right knee, and your left foot. And then left arm opens up. You can stay here. This might be perfect. Or you can stay on your toes, pivot onto the pinky edge of your feet, the right side. Right hand stays down. Left arm can open up. You can do here, or you can even step your left foot forward. So you have a nice space there too. So give yourself a breath or two here. I know I just took a while to explain all that. Couple of breaths. And then on your next exhale, left hand comes down and transition back down dog or child's pose. And on your next inhale, take your time, slowly step your right foot forward. So same foot, right foot's gonna come forward. Back knee comes down. Inhale, heart reaches forward. Exhale, step your back foot forward to meet your front foot, come back into your fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. Exhale, press to stand, hands come to heart. Pause here, take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. I'm going to move to the other side because we're going to do side 2, but you do not have to move. On your next inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. Exhale, dive forward, forward, fold. Again, our goal is to be calm here, so try to make these movements feel good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your right foot back. And again, we're going to walk the hands around to the right, coming into a wide-legged forward fold facing the right side of your mat. So inhale, lengthen your spine once you get there, and then exhale, fold forward. Anything you want to do with your hands, again, you can grab the outsides of the legs, you can hook the big toes, you can bring your fingertips to the floor, or you can dangle. Doesn't matter. Whatever feels good. Feel your feet grounding down. And again, notice if your weight starts to shift back into your heels, see if you can shift it forward a little bit so you feel nice and even between the heels and the balls of the feet. Breathe. On your next inhale, take your time, slowly come about halfway up. Bring your hands onto your hips and come all the way up. So again, from here, we're going to turn the left foot out. Right heel turns away. We're going to move into triangle. So arms reach out into a T. Get really long on that left side. Reach way forward with your left hand. Left hand comes down, shins block the floor. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Get long on the left side of your body. So you're trying to create just as much space on the left side as you are on the right. And breathe here. Long, deep breaths. Moving into a space in your triangle where it feels, you feel supported, you feel like you're opening up, but you also don't feel like you're overworking. Does that make sense? So you feel like you're keeping your mind and your body calm while you're moving into the shape. Give yourself another breath. And then on your next inhale, bend that front knee. We're going to come up into warrior 2. Feeling your feet ground down. Again, adjust your feet as you need to. Left arm's reaching forward over the left leg. Right arm's reaching back over the right leg. Feel your feet grounding down. And again, you don't want to be leaning way too far forward or too far back. There's this nice spot right in the middle where you feel nice and centered and upright. That's where we're working towards. Breathe here. Long, deep breaths. And then on your next exhale, we're going to move into side angle pose. So again, either elbow to thigh or hands to the floor of the block. Right arm can reach up towards the sky, or you can sweep it up and over your ear, creating that long line from your fingertips all the way down through your heel. Again, you can stay, or you can reach the left hand down towards the floor. It doesn't matter how low you go. Again, only going so low that it feels good. So if you start to move down and you're like, nope, come back up, then stay there. Breathe. And on your next exhale, we're going to slowly bring both hands down to the floor. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot, and then bring the back knee down. Inhale into a low lunge. So again, hands can stay on your thigh, or arms can reach up. I'm going to turn towards you, but you can stay where you are. Give yourself a breath here. Open up through your heart if that feels good. And then on your exhale, we're going to bring the hands to the heart and we're going to twist to the left. So right elbow either to the inside of the left thigh, or you can bring it all the way to the outside. Again, choose to stay, or if you feel nice and sturdy and you want to tuck your back toes under and pick your back knee up, if that doesn't stress you out, go for it. If you do that and feel like you're going to fall over, bring your back knee back down. Breathe. Again, we're not working towards a perfect pose. There's no such thing as a perfect pose. There's no such thing as, like achieving a level of yoga where your poses are perfect and therefore you elevate yourself. We're just working towards noticing what's happening in our body and honoring that. Give yourself another breath. And then on your exhale, release your hands down to the floor. We're going to step it back. We're going to come back into our plank or kneeling plank, or skip it all together and move back into your child's pose or your down dog. But if you're in your plank, you're going to exhale to lower down. Inhale into a cobra or an up dog. And exhaling back, child's pose first. Stay in your child's pose for the inhale. And then choose to stay or transition into your downward facing dog for your exhale. Give yourself a breath here. Enjoy the pause. And then on your next inhale, again, we're going to transition, keep saying that word, into plank. And then we're going to move into our side plank. So again, left knee can come down. You kickstand the left foot over to the left. Right foot comes in line. Right arm opens up. You can be here. I like this variation. Or you stay on your toes. You move onto the pinky edge of the left foot. The feet kind of stack. And your right arm reaches up. Or you can step your right foot forward to give yourself a little kickstand there. But give yourself all the support you need today. Give yourself another breath. Or two. And then exhale, top hand comes down. And move back down dog or child's pose. Feel your inhale. Feel your exhale. Can you remain calm inside plank? Some days, right? Some days. On your next inhale, take your time. Slowly step your left foot forward. So same foot. Bring your back knee down. Exhale. Inhale, get long in the spine and look forward. Exhale, step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Come back into your fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Finishing it out. Bend your knees, stake your hips, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, press to stand. Hands come to heart. Pause here. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. Good. On your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Open up. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. Come about halfway up. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands. We're going to step it back into a plank or a kneeling plank. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. And from here, we're going to move into the Sphinx pose. So elbows come underneath the shoulders or a little bit in front of the shoulders. Forearms come to the floor, and you reach your heart forward. Press the tops of the feet down into the floor, and breathe here. Gaze is just down your nose, so we're not trying to crank the head up towards the sky here because that does not feel good on the neck. Gaze is just down your nose, like you're a sphinx. Breathe. Feel your low belly lifting just slightly, so that way you have some nice support in your low back. And then choose. You can stay here. This might be plenty. Or if it feels good to you to press into your hands and lift your elbows up off the floor, you can do that too. But if you do that and your low back starts to scream at you, come back down, okay? So only go so far that it feels good. Keep reaching your heart forward. Keep your shoulder blades sliding together and down your back so they're not starting to work their way up towards your ears. Got a lot of space for your neck. Give yourself another breath. And then exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Maybe like make a little pillow for your head. And breathe. And then your next inhale, hands come underneath your shoulders or a little bit further back. Press into your hands, reach your heart forward into a cobra. And then exhale, press it back. Either child's pose, or if you felt that a lot and you want to go into downward facing dog, you can go into downward facing dog. Sometimes child's pose right after back bends might feel like too much on your back. So adjust. Even if you're going into child's pose and you want to keep it a little bit more elongated in your spine, do that. Another breath. And then when you feel ready, we're going to come down onto your knees and come to seated. So take a moment, tune in, notice how you're feeling. And then from here, sitting up really super tall, take your right leg out in front of you. Bring your left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Turn a little bit so you can see me. Okay, so from here, we're gonna sit up really super tall. You're gonna turn your upper body just a little bit so you're facing your right leg. Inhale, lengthen your spine here. And exhale, walk your hands forward, come into your forward fold. And we just did a little bit of back bending. So if your back is screaming at you not to go this way, back off a little bit, keep your spine really long, and give yourself some time. Long, deep breaths. Notice your breath. See if you can slow down your breath. See if you can make your exhales a little bit longer. And then your inhale, come all the way back up. So from here, we're going to bend the right knee, bring the right foot to the floor. We're going to move that left foot. So the left foot is going to come to the outside of the right hip. So it's just going to move over a little bit. Right foot either stays to the right side of the left leg or you can step it over. Now if you do that and you can't get your right big toe to the floor, see if you can keep it on this side so that way you feel nice and grounded. Okay? Ardha Matsyendrasana. So inhale, get long here, hug your knee in just for a moment, get really long. It's also a nice little hip stretch that happens here. So give yourself a moment, ground down through your hips, lengthen through your spine, and then take your right hand behind you. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky, and then exhale to twist. Either elbow to thigh or hug it in and twist. Don't go so far that you start to collapse in your chest because then you're losing the twist in the upper back. You want to stay nice and open in the chest and really twist through the upper back. Breathe. Long deep breaths. Give yourself another breath here. And then inhale, come back to center. Let's unwind the legs, and we'll do the same thing on side two. So let's take the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Flex the left toes up towards the sky, little twist. So you're twisting towards your left leg. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, walk your hands forward, come into your fold. We're gonna take a few breaths here. So finding your spot with your hands, they can come to the floor, they can come to your thigh, shin. If they get all the way to your foot, that's great. If they don't force it. Breathe. Feel your hips grounding down. Feel the length you're creating. So back of the leg, right hip, right side body. I can feel it a little bit too. See if you can breathe into the backs of your lungs. Another breath or two. And And then on your next inhale, come all the way back up. So again, we're gonna bend the left knee, take that right foot, and we're just gonna transition the right foot over to the left a little bit so it comes to the outside of the left hip. And then left foot's either gonna stay to the inside or you're gonna step it over to the outside of that right knee. Sitting up really super tall, give yourself a moment here, maybe hug that knee in. Find length in your spine, find openness in your chest and heart. So we're gonna try and keep that the whole time. And then choose to stay, or left hand comes behind you. Inhale, right arm reaches up towards the sky. Again, we're just getting length and creating space. So you're feeling long and spacious. And then choose to stay or choose to hug it in, or elbow to thigh and twist. But don't go so far that you lose all that length and that space that you just created. Try and make it bigger, more space. Feel both sit bones grounding down. Feel the flow of your breath. Inhale, come back to center. Unwind your legs. And let's take both feet straight out in front of you. Ashimutanasana. So flex your toes up towards the ceiling. Sit up really super tall here. Bring your hands down by your sides. So we're starting in Dandasana, staff pose. Shoulders down away from your ears. And notice here, do you feel like you're falling backwards a little bit? It's very, very normal if you are. Maybe roll up your mat or find your blanket so you can give yourself a little bit of a boost. So you feel nice and stable. Give yourself another breath in your Dandasana. And then on your exhale, slowly just start to pad your fingers forward, coming into your forward fold here. So again, wherever you stop is where you stop, and there's no need to force or strain or stress yourself out to go beyond that. Breathe. We're stretching and moving our bodies, yes, but we're also learning to listen to our bodies. Trying to find the connection between our minds and our bodies and our spirits. And that's our ultimate goal. Not to touch our toes, just to find that connection. Give yourself an extra couple of breaths here, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your eyes. And then on your next inhale, slowly come all the way back up. Then from here, before we transition onto our backs, let's find a comfortable seat. And we're going to do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing before we move back into our Shavasana. So it's just a breath to balance out our right and left sides, to find some calmness and some stability in the mind and in the body. So what we're going to do is you're going to use the right hand. You're going to take your first two fingers, so your peace fingers, if you're going to make the peace sign, those two fingers are going to fold in. So we're going to be working with the thumb and the ring finger of your right hand. So bringing that mudra onto the bridge of your nose, your ring finger should come to your left nostril and your thumb should come to the outside of the right nostril, just a little bit above them. All right, so sitting up really super tall, we're going to inhale through both nostrils. So inhaling here. And then on your exhale, you're going to close the right nostril with your right thumb and exhale through the left side. Keep the right nostril closed. On your inhale, inhale through the left side. Pause at the top, close the left side, exhale through the right. Inhale right. Pause at the top, close the right, exhale left. Inhale left. Pause and exhale right. Inhale right. Pause, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. And then just keep going, following your breath, exhaling and inhaling through one side and then switching. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more rounds. And after your last exhale through the left side, you're going to release your hands, return to your natural breath. And when you feel ready, slowly make your way all the way back onto your back. I'm going to stay seated so you can still hear me, but make your way onto your back. And notice we're going to start to move into our final relaxation, into our Shavasana. So if you need another twist, a happy baby, a sweatshirt, a blanket, a pillow, anything, give yourself a few moments so you can feel nice and complete and comfortable, and get yourself nice and cozy. Once you're in your position, no rush. If you're still working on something wonderful, keep going. But once you're in your position, feel yourself starting to melt down into the floor. The work is done. Now we just give ourselves a few minutes to breathe, to take in, to absorb all that we have just done. So begin by just noticing the center of your brow, right in between your eyebrows. So we call it the third eye. It's the area right in between your eyebrows, your third eye. And breathe into this space. It's our space of wisdom, of inner knowing. And then let your awareness travel further down into the pit of the throat, right in the middle of the neck. Just feeling there. No agenda, nothing to do, just feeling there. And then feel the center of the heart, center of the chest. Feeling there. And as you feel into the center of the chest, allow your awareness to travel out through your shoulders and your shoulder blades, all the way out through your fingers. Our hands and our hearts are connected. Our hands do the work of our hearts. So feeling your heart and feeling your hands and your arms. And then allow your awareness to continue to travel down into your solar plexus, the area just below your rib cage. And again, no agenda, just feeling there. Allowing the awareness to continue to travel down just below the navel, about 4 finger widths below the navel. Feeling there. And then feeling all the way down into the base of the spine. And again, allowing that awareness to travel down from the base of the spine through the legs and all the way down to the tips of the toes. And bringing that awareness all the way back up. So from the tips of the toes, all the way back up, the base of the spine, just below the navel, just below the rib cage, center of the heart, center of the throat, third eye, in between the eyebrows, and then all the way up to the crown of the head. Feeling your whole body, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. I'm going to be quiet here for just a couple of minutes. I'm not going to go anywhere. So give yourself just a couple of minutes just to be. Just be. And as always, if you have the space to stay longer, please stay longer in your Shavasana and ignore me. But if you do have the 1 hour time limit, we are right there. So start by just wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe take a big stretch, reaching up through your fingertips and down through your toes. And no rush at all, but when you are ready, slowly roll all the way over onto your right or left side. And taking your time, use your hands to transition all the way up to seated. And again, once you find your comfortable seat, no rush. You're going to bring your hands to your heart, sealing in your practice. bowing to yourself, to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. It's that connection that you have between your mind, your body, and your spirit. And that connection that transverses out beyond yourself to every other living being. We are all connected. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. And thank you all so much for joining me. And I will be back same time next week. Thank you.